tuning from. We have 100 participants already joining us through Zoom, which all of you have the chance to, and also on Facebook Live. So let's get started. So for those who are new to Green Card Voices, let's go to the next slide, Richard. So, for those who are new to Green Card Voices, we are based out here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, but we're a nationally growing nonprofit organization, and our mission is really to record and share first-person stories of immigrants and refugees by their own voice, by them, and it's to really facilitate a better understanding and appreciation between immigrants and their community, all through multimedia storytelling, which you're gonna really get a chance to dig into today. So before we go in depth, this is a virtual event and so many things can happen, and we wanna make it the most safe and most brave place for all of us to be in. So any racist, harassment, or violent behavior or remark will not be accepted here in this space. This is really to amplify our students here, and we want to ensure that it's going to be a safe and brave platform. So if we can do that together, tonight, I'm telling you, it's going to be such a special moment for all of us together. If you do have any technology issue and if you need support, please drop that in the group chat. We have many multiple support, technology support here as well. And then to cut down any background noise, which all of you have been doing so greatly on, but just to minimize all of that, mute yourself unless you're gonna be talking. You'll get the chance to do that later. And then keep your video on. Please, please, we'd love to see your beautiful faces here. It's gonna make it more lively and just makes it feel like we're in an actual book launch together in that space together. And then throughout this moment, I'm telling you, you're gonna wanna, unmute yourself. You're probably gonna say thank you. You're gonna be like, this is empowering. I know a lot of you are gonna feel that energy. But there's nonverbal ways to do that, which you can definitely hit that reaction button at the bottom. It's gonna have a smiley face with a plus. You have the option to do clapping hands if you really enjoy that, or just put a thumbs up. So can I see some thumbs up, some clapping hand out there? Making sure that all of you are using your reaction. Yay, awesome, I see you, wonderful. And then last thing, if you just want to see me speak, or when the student authors do come and share their story and you just want to see them only, then you can change the platform. At the top right corner, it's going to say speaker view. You can click on that. It's just going to see me in the presentation, or you can click that and put gallery view, which you're going to see the rest of everyone. So it's up to you, however it's most comfortable for you.
Julie, there's a few questions in the chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell us, Shiny is going to be in the group chat, working with that. So Shiny, what are some of the questions people have?
Yes. First question, does the host have the option to turn on the closed captions? This is from Chris Wilkins. And then another question from Kelly Cooper. Some of the authors are getting a notification that there are 100+ people here and they cannot attend. So not sure if we could solve those right away, but.
Richard, Aaliyah,
yes, I'm looking into turning on the closed captioning, and I'm also looking to turn this into a large meeting so that we can let more people in.
Okay, perfect. Thanks so much for your patience, everyone, as we try to work this all out so all of you can be in the same space here. So as my IT supporter or helping us get everything situated, we're gonna continue, all right? Feel free to drop in the chat if you have other questions. So we're just gonna get started. we have, I don't want to say too much and talk too much. I'm going to let this trailer speak for itself. So we're going to turn your volume up if you can. We're going to play the trailer for our sixth book, Green Card Youth Voices, Immigration Stories from Upstate New York.
I'm from Puerto Rico.
I was born and raised in Istanbul.
In Burundi.
I born in Bangladesh.
I was born in Belarus in 2005 in the city of Goma.
I was born in Somali, Mogadishu, Somali.
I was born in Tanzania.
We didn't have a lot of money, but it was a good life we was living.
It was the best part of my life when I grew up in Yemen.
It was me, my mom, my dad, and my brother, and the dog.
So I was born in Greece, Castoria. My parents had moved there because there was a war in Albania in the 1997.
In September 16 was Hurricane Maria passed to Puerto Rico. I was so scared because it was my first hurricane.
We have a hard time in Burundi because we did not have enough food to eat. We don't have many things like water.
There come a day which we had to stop from school because of the money.
In 2016, my mom won the green card lottery.
They tell us that you have to go in the USA. I was so happy that day. I feel like, oh my God, this is not true.
My madrina called my mom and said, come to Rochester, New York. I can help you.
I have 10 years without seeing my dad. That's why I was excited.
I didn't know what to say. I was really nervous and excited, but nervous and sad.
It was like a little bit sad for me because I had to leave all the things that I used to and get set in a new place.
Here I have my new friend, new teacher, and new school.
Since I came in Buffalo, I was good. School is good.
I want to be a doctor. I don't know what type of doctor, but I want to be a doctor and have a family of my own.
Work, house, family. In the future, I will go to college and study physician therapy.
I don't want to stay in America for a lot, like for the rest of my life. I want to go back and forth to Yemen and to America.
I was thinking I was going to college. I was doing something for my father is proud of me. I was thinking I was going to be an art teacher. I was like the art, so.
I'm also really interested in child rights and especially refugee children because all that I've gone through kind of opened my eyes to the struggles that refugees or immigrants face when coming here. So for especially children, I want to help them in any way I can and show them that they're not alone in this process.
Well, I hope all of you enjoy that trailer. Every time I watch it, it melts my heart. And I just can't wait for all of you to hear their precious story, their precious voice, and everything that they have to offer tonight. And what's so exciting about this is that this is our sixth book, our sixth Green Card Youth Voices. We've gone to multiple cities and states. We started from Minneapolis, where we are based, and then we went to our next, neighboring city, which is St. Paul, Minnesota. And then we also went to Fargo, North Dakota, Atlanta, Georgia, Wisconsin, Madison, and Milwaukee in Wisconsin, and then here in 2 cities. Rochester, and Buffalo, New York. So later on, you're going to get the chance to hear a little bit more about the whole process and transformative, all the action that went into getting this book completed, the site visit. So you'll get the chance to hear more all about that. So now I'm going to go to the next slide and just talk about where we've been. So in this, here on this slide, you're going to see a map of where we've been. So again, Green Card Voices is all about recording and sharing first-person stories of immigrants and refugees. And so far, since now to date, we have recorded over 500 stories coming from 140 different countries, all here in the US. So just think about how powerful that is, that your neighbors that you're right next to is also an immigrant and refugee themselves. So thanks so much for bringing the space here with us. So in the next slide, it's really going to talk about some of the multimedia, what we do with our digital stories. You know, one of them is that we publish them into books, in our ebooks, which our ebooks is out right now, which you can you can order, or you can pre-order our book that is going to be printed in January 2021. A lot of these stories are shared in our social media. So we're on Facebook, to Twitter, to LinkedIn, to Instagram. So if you're not following us on our social media, please go out there and follow us so you can get up to date with all of these amazing stories. We also have traveling exhibits. What's so unique about these traveling exhibits is that each of the authors that get featured in the book also get an 8-foot-long banner. And it goes and travel into different spaces so people can get to see them. And what's so awesome about these is that you get to see a full portrait of how an immigrant refugee looks like. You don't reimagine it, you get to see them for who they are. And then there's the QR scan code, that goes straight into their 5-minute edited videos. We also have this accessible story in our website, so go into and take a look at it. It's also in our YouTube. We have a podcast, and there's also curriculum that is built into it. So all of this is multimedia again, making sure that it's accessible for everyone and every platform. So enough of me talking. I know all of you want to learn a little bit more about the process and how that have transformed over time to where it is now. So I'm going to pass it on to my colleague, Taya Razman, our Executive Director of Green Card Voices.
Hello, everybody. It's such a pleasure to be with you here tonight. I hope you can all hear me. Yes? Okay. Thank you so much, Julie, for saying that. So yeah, first of all, I would like to share that it is just such an honor, and I really, really appreciate your patience. This is our first Zoom event with over 150 people, and we are just right now upgrading our membership so that we will be able to let more people in. We were able to have quite a lot of people graciously vacate this spot, and they are joining us via Facebook Live so that they're giving up their spot on Zoom so that more students can join us. So with that being said, you know, we are just so delighted that we came to this date and that we are launching the book. This is our 6th book in the series of Green Card Youth Voices, and I really cannot stress enough that there is an extreme power in local stories. You know, we've done this in different cities, and there is just nothing like local stories because you know, when we were in Fargo, students talked about how it was, you know, being so extremely cold and, you know, being in a pretty desolate state. When we were in Atlanta, people talked about the warmth and how it is in a city of 8 million people. You know, and stories, of course, were very, very different in Rochester and Buffalo. And the way the neighbors relate to one another is through common experience. So although it takes much more time and effort and money we feel it's extremely important to be intentional how we share those stories and go, city by city, town by town, and record and share those stories. It's how empathy is developed and strengthened. It's how connections are made, and it's how immigrants and refugees feel, like their voices are heard and get a sense of belonging and giving back to the community. So we were very intentional when it came to selecting who is going to be in the book. And if we go to the next slide, you will see the 15 countries represented in the book. We also included Puerto Rico, which is not a country, but we felt the stories from Puerto Rico was so essential and so critical to understanding the context that we included 5 students in the book. But having said that, there's different ways how students and immigrants in general migrate to the United States. And again, here too, we were very intentional to include people whose families won green card lottery, who moved due to war. Some were resettled to the United States as a third country after living in refugee camps for a really long time. And others perhaps moved because of work, because one of their parents got a job. So we really wanted to share very, very different stories to represent the breadth and the depth of stories of immigrants and refugees in the United States. And the process was, over a year long. And if we go to the next slide, we started with site visits in September when me and Zainab Abdi, who's also here, one of our Green Card Youth Voices Minneapolis authors, visited the schools, talked to the students, and she really told them firsthand about the process. Then we came back in January and we recorded the stories. Then the whole video editing started. I know some of the video editors are here with us tonight. Then CUNY, Baruch College in New York City was involved with transcribing and helping write the final review. And then of course we are here now with the book launch. In terms of photos, I'm gonna quickly go through, if we can scroll through, Richard. So this was the site visit with Zainab in the middle there. And I see Immaculee and some other, we saw some of the incredible projects that students were already doing with Ms. Kelly, and it was just so impressive. They were essentially already doing their own books. And at the time, Zainab and I actually were on this roller coaster trip where she also was speaking at the United Nations just days prior. And we were just so happy to be able to visit the students in person. And the next slide. Then in January, we did the recording. So our team came out and, we set up in 2 schools, all the gear, the lights, the cameras. We also did photography. So all the books that we do have gorgeous photography, and you'll see those portraits later on. And it took a full week, and it was very intense, but we got to really meet the students and listen to them. They've received open-ended questions in advance, 6 of them they prepared, and then they narrated their story in a way they wanted to tell it. And then, literally a few weeks later, coronavirus hit, and we, the weeks after, we were, if you go to the next slide, doing a lot of meetings through online and just trying to figure out, how are we going to do this? Are we going to continue? How is that going to look like? And, we decided this was so important, and we persevered and we continued. And if we continue through the slides, Richard, after today, we obviously want to really have, in addition to this virtual book launch, as many virtual book readings as possible. And once enough people are vaccinated, we want to do a lot of book readings at libraries, bookstores. that's something we've done with all the other books, and I know there's going to be a lot of interest, and we plan to do that here as well the second it is safe to do so. Every book that we do also comes with a 20 banner exhibit that travels in libraries. That's the next slide. All the banners have QR codes that people can scan that takes them to the videos, 5-minute long videos with the students. So yeah, the good news is that there's a lot more to come after this. In the next slide, you will notice some of the successes we've had, and you know, once the student authors are empowered to really understand just how amazing their stories are and how they impact their new communities, you know, they go on, and we've had great examples with Zainab Abdi from our Minneapolis youth book, befriending Malala, and then, you know, collaborating with her on Malala's latest book, We Are Displaced, as well as our Fargo authors speaking at the state capitol and helping overturn the anti-refugee bill that was proposed, and our Milwaukee students speaking in front of the school board just last year, and really sharing, you know, with the school board what the needs of immigrant students are firsthand. Next slide. We have had tremendous help from Rochester journalists. I really want to thank both the connections with Evan Dawson and Democrat and Chronicle journalists, which I believe is in the audience today, for helping us, you know, amplify the story of the book and the stories of these authors, and really get the stories out to as many members of the audience. And without further ado, I will pass it on back to Julie.
Thanks so much, Taya, for sharing more about the topic. And now, I know this moment all of you have been waiting for, our book launch. But just before we get there, I really want you to hear from our special guest that we have here tonight. First, we have, if you can go to the next slide, Richard, we have Annalie Cruz-Bomani, the Director of Bilingual Education at Rochester City School District. If you can unmute yourself, we are so precious and thankful for your moment here. I'm gonna pass it to you.
Thank you, Julie. Good evening, everyone. Every year, brave souls journey to the mainland United States with dreams of new opportunities for their families, oftentimes leaving a piece of their hearts behind. These individuals are confronted daily with a different language, different practices, ways of being, and even climate. Many times others acknowledge the privilege of being in a new place, but not the grief, the loss, or the bravery that is part of making a different place your home. I myself made the journey to the United States with my family over 3 decades ago. I was young and have just a few memories of that transition, but I am confronted daily with finding a place where I belong. For those of us whose lives are influenced by 2 worlds, in Spanish we say, ni de aquí, ni de allá, meaning you are not from here nor there. No es fácil dejar tu familia y tu paraíso para llegar a un lugar nuevo y aprender una nueva cultura. Muchas veces uno se siente mal ubicado, como que no tiene un lugar. Mi familia también tomó ese viaje y por eso le digo a ustedes, mis hijos, que ahora son de 2 mundos. Y aunque en nuestras islas se dice ni de aquí ni de allá, la verdad es que sí somos de aquí y sí somos de allá. We are from here and there. We are bilingual, biliterate, and bicultural. It is my privilege and honor as an RCSD English language learner to welcome some of our current English language learners from upstate New York to share their stories of adjusting to a new place. And I'm thankful that everyone is here to be a witness as Green Card Voices amplify the voices of our students. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Such a very beautiful message for all of us. And sometimes it's just taking a moment, a pause, you know, even in this space, to just look at each other's eyes through virtually, for your presence, for this moment that we are able to witness together. So thank you, Annalie, for your message. So the next speaker we have joining us is Dr. Cindy McPhail, Professor and Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, Director of the Bilingual Extension Program in Education at Nazareth College.
Hi, everyone. As everyone has said, it is such a pleasure to be with you all this evening. As you see, I work as the Associate Dean in the School of Education at Nazareth College, and one of our jobs is we work to prepare the next generation of teachers. And teachers today face so many different challenges. First of all, they have to explain what it is that they're teaching. The world of knowledge is constantly expanding, and teachers have to act as guides to make sense of that information. And then the recent events from COVID have shown us it's important for teachers to be prepared as possible for the incredible variety of classroom situations that exist today. Teachers need to learn how to provide instruction both in person and online, and they need to learn about the techniques and the tools and the resources that are available. Excellent teachers are able to teach in many different ways, but the most prepared teachers still cannot be effective without the important ingredient of knowing who they are teaching. Good teaching includes developing these relationships. And as you know, relationships take a lot of work. And they can sometimes be challenging, especially when people have very different life experiences, languages, and cultures. Teachers are more likely to be successful in building relationships if they can better understand and appreciate their students' lives, recognizing what they have been through, what they think, what they like, what they don't like, what they hope for. By bravely sharing your stories and your experiences in your authentic voices, you are providing teachers an important resource to help them understand more of what today's students face. You have shared not only your written stories, but also your voices, your faces, and your expressions, your beautiful expressions. You have made your stories real and understandable to others. A woman named Gina Valdez wrote a very brief poem in Spanish that says, "Hay tantísimas fronteras que dividen a la gente, pero por cada frontera existe también un puente." Which in English, the poem says something like, there are so many borders that separate people, but for every border, there also exists a bridge. This Green Card Voices project is an important bridge for teachers to understand the lives of their students. Your work will impact teachers' abilities to connect with their students. Thank you so much for your courage, your honesty, and all your hard work.
Thank you so much. Another powerful message. And I think this year especially has really tested us that teachers are so essential in our everyday lives and that they haven't been credited enough. So let's give them the credential that they deserve. You have really impacted so many of our students here. Thank you so much. I know there's so many educators in this space, so thank you for all of the educators in this space out there, and really just holding space and container for our students to be brave and to share their story. So now, this moment, you can take a deep breath. It's the moment that we can get to hear from our students. And earlier, just a little bit earlier, we were practicing and they were a little bit nervous. So I hope you're sending them really high energy for them to, speak their truth. So no further ado, we'll have our first student, Arthur.
Abdishakur, you ready to go?
Yes. Hi, my name is Abdishakur Luhizo. I was born in Somalia, but I grew up in Kenya in a refugee. I came in America, it was in 2016, in December. Came in Cleveland, Ohio, then I moved up in Buffalo. I got my whole education, my knowledge in Buffalo High School, Newcomb Academy. You know, where I would start to write and read. I didn't know how to read, even to write, but right now I'm doing good for write, even reading. It helped me a lot. I'm gonna talk about my story, about my goal that I wish maybe I could have one day when I got the opportunity. My goal is to help the kid who diagnosed with a different disease, that the way I will survive by getting help. I want to help the kid who are growing right now or who are born and need to know how to treat the disease. I want to do this thing because we know most of people in Africa do not have a lot of doctors. Kids are dying in different countries. Some of them country in East African, like Congo, Rwanda, Kenya, Somalia, and other countries, because they are not healthy. The thing is, they did not have a lot of money or food for the kid to get a medicine. It's not easy to get a medicine. Every time I look at myself, I say maybe one day when I finish my college, I will return to my country and to help those kids who are getting sick and diagnosed with a different disease, so I can be a part of them to help their future so they can grow up as well that I grow up my life. That is my story that I want to share for everybody. For thanks for me, let me to tell you my story about my life that I want to do.
Muna was kicked out of the Zoom, but she's going to try to get back in.
Yeah, nice talk. Nice talk. Hmm?
So let's go to the next student and then Muna will come back. What we're gonna do is, each of the students is gonna go back to back. So let's use the reaction and, use that applause, use that thumbs up. But at the end, we can have a huge celebration, all right? So let's hold space for the students.
My name is Subasinghe Gunasekera, but people call me IC because my name is hard to say. And I go to Brighton High School. I had 2 dogs and 2 cats. I also had a parrot that we gave him away to a friend. 1 dog died in an accident. 1 cat died. An animal ate him. I think because he ran away and I didn't see him for a few days. There were so many animals around the house, like a forest, a lot of snakes, cobras, wild pigs, cows, and a tiger. It's like a small version of a tiger. And he hates domestic cats. In the forest there was also big rocks. We climbed the rocks. As we climbed, we saw a porcupine sleeping, or monkeys. The monkeys were so annoying when we were cooking. They would steal our food. So we made a fake gun to scare them, but they knew it was fake. So we bought a real one. We showed them or shot to the sky, and they would run away. Behind our house, there's a 20-foot rock. In the stone, there was a hole, and we would put stick in the hole and climb all the way up. And I like rock climbing or hiking in really high mountains. Thank you for listening.
My name is Katerina Leovanova. I'm from Belarus and I go to Brighton High School. In Belarus, I live with my mother. I am only child. My mom wanted to move to another country or another city for better opportunities. My uncle, who lived in Rochester, told her, play a green card lottery, maybe you win the green card. My relatives have lived in Rochester for 17 years. My mother and I tried to apply for green card. The first year, we didn't get a green card. In the second year, we won the green card and we were very happy. We filled out the documents and 1 year later came to USA. We come to USA because there are more opportunities here. Thank you for listening.
Hello. Hi everyone, my name is Mona. I'm from Somalia and I graduated from Newcomer Academy at Lafayette High School. I go to Bryanstein College. I was born in Somalia, Mogadishu. I remember when I was 5 years old, my mom used to tell us, go under the bed and cover our ears because of the gun. There were guns everywhere. We didn't have Somalia. There were guns everywhere. We did not leave Somalia. My dad left Somalia to find a better place. My dad traveled around and finally found a small village in Ethiopia. Then he moved there, but my mom and my brother stayed in the capital city of Somalia, Somaliland in Somalia, called Hargeisa. My other sibling and I went back to a small village in Ethiopia called Albari.
Bryant won't be reading today.
So yeah, Brian is not reading today, but he is here in spirit with us. But please send your warm regards to him today. He is here. He's a bit nervous, so we're just gonna honor him as well.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Alex, and I'm a junior in Brighton High School, and I'm from Kazakhstan. When we moved to America, it was me, my mom, my dad, my brother. Our dog, who is also the part of the family, also came with us, but 2 months later. She's an English Spaniel, and her name is Seema. She's almost 12 years now, and I've had her since I was 3. She's an amazing dog, like, for real. She's very friendly, never bites, and she's just very nice. There are definitely things that I miss. First of all, I had to give up all my friends, and making connections here became a really hard challenge for me. And I miss Kazakh food, culture, and mentality in general. Kazakhs are very hospitable, and so are Americans, but it's just a little bit different. When I came here, I was surprised about lots of things. I was walking in the street, and people were smiling at me, saying hi, and I didn't know why they were doing it because I don't even know them. But then I realized that many people, if not everyone, do that. Some of the food I miss is shashlik, which is a meat. It can be lamb or chicken, but then it's not really shashlik. It is skewered and grilled. I also miss beshbarmak. It's made of dough and meat, and it's super tasty. Thank you for listening.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Mukeshimana Immaculee. I'm a student at International Lafayette High School. I'm in 11th grade now. Oh, I want to tell you a story about where I lived. So I remember many things about Burundi, but I don't remember many things about Congo because I left Congo when I was 3 months old. I left our country because of war. I lived in Burundi. Bwagiriza refugee camp for 17 years. I had a hard time in Burundi because I did not have enough food to eat. I didn't have many things like water and medicine. I remember the people in Burundi. I remember my friends in Burundi. Many people did not like refugees. Thank you so much.
Hey, my name is Manal Madrahi. I'm a student in Lafayette International. When we traveled, we went from Aden to Djibouti by boat, which was usually used for animals. It was not even meant for people to travel in. When we traveled, I was so scared. Everyone was scared. And not that everyone was scared, because it was the first time that we traveled across the sea. My dad was so freaked about that trip. He was in the United States. He said to us, there is no other way, only by ship. He said, is the only way we can go to Djibouti. Life in Djibouti was so difficult. The rent was like more than $1,000 for a small apartment, and it was only for rent. Beside that, there was electric and water bills. Everything was expensive there. Thank you everybody for listening and watching.
Hi, my name is Shaibi. I'm from Yemen. I go to some sport high school. Some sport high school. My life in Yemen was difficult because my dad lived in America and I lived with my mom, younger sister, and little brother in Yemen. When I lived with my mom, there was not enough money. I did go to school, but I didn't understand anything because I was afraid. I always sit in the back of the class. When I come back home, I didn't know that the homework was or what I had to study. My mom didn't know how to read or English and Arabic. She couldn't go to school to get educated because there was only her and her mom, and they were poor. She spoke Arabic, but she can't write or read, so no one could help me or teach me. I didn't really care about school when I lived in Yemen. Thank you. Oh, all of my teachers. uh,
Hello everyone. I'm Aisha, and I'm a junior in Brighton High School, and I'm from Turkey. I was born in Lüleburgaz, Turkey, my grandparents' house. I didn't live there for long, but I still have memories from there with my older brother. Right under my grandparents' house, there was a market, and I would always go there with my friend to buy some crackers and biscuits or ice cream. I grew up all over Turkey. I always moved because of my dad's job. My dad was a university professor before. I eventually moved to Ankara, the capital of Turkey. I had a really big house and it was really beautiful. My house was in a really large and warm neighborhood that I lived in. Right next to my house, there was a picnic area that I would always go to with my family at night. I also had a large group of friends and we would always go back to really big garage and play hide and seek there. And in Ankara, I was in a private school because my dad was able to afford it. But now it's not the same case since political differences in Turkey caused my family financial and emotional damage in here right now. Thank you for listening.
Hi everyone, I'm Esma Okutan from Turkey and I'm a junior at Brighton High School. So I was born and raised in Istanbul, Turkey. It's a really beautiful city with amazing historical sites as well as natural beauties. It's partially surrounded by the Sea of Marmara and the Black Sea. I can still remember walking down the beach with my family, talking, drinking tea, and hearing the sounds of the ships in the Bosphorus. It was truly beautiful. Another thing I loved about my country was that it was like a melting pot of European and Asian cultures. One of my favorite activities to do in Istanbul was feeding the stray animals. There were a lot of stray cats and dogs outside, and I really enjoyed taking care of them. I lived on the Asian side, and I also went to school there. I had most of my family living there too. I was going into the 7th grade before we moved here. And that's it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mireille and I'm from Congo and I'm junior in international high school. I'm going to talk about how I went to school and church in Africa. I could wake up every morning to go to the choir. When I come from the choir, I have to wash the dishes and go to school. In high school, we went to school in the afternoon. I could play game with my friend. I know many activity and many games. In the holiday, we eat together like a family or group of friends. Some of the games we play were monkey, nemiro, soccer, and game called kange. When you play kange, it's like you are doing competition with other group. Your group is on one side and other group in other side. You jump and put your leg up. If you win, you can pass that game.
Hey guys, my name is Mary. I'm from Congo. I went to international high school. In the first week when we get to the house, everything was new to us. The stove was new, the bathroom was new. The first week when my uncle came to visit the house, we were staying with my mother and my father. He could take my parents' appointment. When my mom and my dad left to go to the office with him, we stayed, me, my brother, and my little sister. One day, some person came to the house who did not know. When we did not open the door because we did not know him. We went in the bed and hide because my mom and my dad taught us that we don't open the door to the person we don't know. When the man was gone, we looked on the window and saw his car gone. My sister was sleeping downstairs, so we told her to come back upstairs with us. Our uncle told us in America you could not open the door to the people. The person has come to fix the bathroom because the bathroom was broke, but we did not know because we did not understand English. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Shaibi. I am from Yemen. I go to Spencer Fort High School. I moved to America. It was kind of cold in New York. In Yemen, it was very hot when I woke up and looked out the window. Everything was very, very different. The cars have spots to park in, but in Yemen, every car parks where there is free space. Everything was organized in America. but in Yemen it's not organized. Then my dad drove a car to Rochester, and it wasn't very sick. I like I would be if he was driving the car in Yemen. I was cold, and my brother was cold. Uh, then my dad said we will go to a mall to buy coats. Then it was warm with the jackets because they were very good quality jackets. My dad already knew English because he came to America more times than us. When we go to Rochester, there were different people that I didn't know, but they were from Yemen. I ended up living with them for 2 years and a half. Thank you for listening.
نايس توك عبد المجيد نايس توك استمر يا بري.
Hi everyone, my name is Anika. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Anika. I was born in Bangladesh. Currently I live in Buffalo, New York. I go to Upstate right now. First, when I came here, it was kind of hard for me to adjust here because everyone was new. I have been here for 2 years now, and so far everything is really good. I came here through my uncle, and I live here with my family. First, when I was in here new, I didn't know anyone, and it was really new place for me. So I thought like I'm the only one who had faced like different thing in my life, and because I'm so emotional, I had to face like really different thing that made me so nervous and so like anxious. So today I'm gonna share with you all how I control my emotions, and this is also a part of my story where I like wrote this. So what I do is I wrote down all the things that I am nervous about. Sometimes I like to draw because I kind of like arts and like different things. So after when I feel happy with my art or whatever going on in my mind, I throw them away just to give myself satisfaction that it's okay, everything happened, and every happiness it's gonna come. Later on, I move on. And I believe that in your life, a lot of people will come to try to change you, but you have to be focused and strong and keep learning, because learning is the beginning of everything. So never stop learning and never let anyone change the way you are and who you are as a person. Love yourself. Thank you so much.
روينا نفسك يا مخزن.
Annalise is not here tonight.
Hi guys, my name is Estel Neema. I was born and raised in East African country in Tanzania in a camp called Nyarugusu. My parents are both from Congo. They both were born in Congo and raised in Congo, but all of my family members, and including me, we were born in Tanzania, and we lived in a camp called Nyarugusu. So today I'm going to talk about the life we lived in the Nyarugusu camp. Life there was hard. Getting food or any other item that you needed was hard. We had to work on farm to get food for my family to eat. We had no running water, and we had to go to the river to get water, which was not clean. The UNHCR will give us clean water sometimes, but a lot of time the water was dirty. There were a lot of disease there because the water was dirty. The camp was not clean at all. There was no proper sanitation, garbage disposal, nothing like that. People got a lot of disease from dirty water, mostly
malaria, but sometimes Ebola and sometimes cholera. Long time ago, we had a lot of help, but when they start sending people, us like Congolese refugees to America, the number of Congolese refugees was going down, and the help was there was less and less help. Thank you for listening.
My turn. All right. Give me a second. All right. My name is Sultan Yahya. I am from Yemen. And hi. All right. We began our journey by traveling by boat to Djibouti. This was my first time in the boat. My mom traveled with us to Djibouti on the boat. We stayed for 2 or 3 days. Once we arrived in Djibouti, we went to the hotel and we stayed 3 months to get all the paperwork done. There was a beach behind us. There were so many crabs. I got bite some of them. All right. If we wanted to swim, we could anytime we wanted. After 3 months, it was time to go to America. My mom went back to Yemen. She didn't get a visa. In the end, only I get to go to America with my older brother, my uncle, his wife, and his kids. My mom and my sisters stayed behind in Yemen. Thank you for listening.
Take a quick break. When we get back,
Richard, can we go to the next Arthur for a bit?
I don't believe Sakuya will be making it tonight.
No Sakui? Okay.
Janoto, go ahead, Janoto. Janoto, are you still there? She was just here. Okay, I'm gonna try to get her back.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stella Sico. I'm a senior from Brighton High School, and I'm originally from Albania. In Albania, public free education was not good. Private schools were a much better option for a good education. So my parents decided to put my sisters and I into a private Greek school that held classes in Greek, Albanian, and English. All parents had to pay a small fee every month, and many did not have enough money. So I gradually saw my classmates leave and transfer back to public schools. When I was young, I couldn't understand why parents would take their kids out of a good school. But later, I realized how hard it was to pay for their children's education. In school, my sisters and I had to stay on top of our work. Our mom constantly reminded us the importance of education. She would stay next to us to make sure we did all our work and everything we needed to do for school. And she also made sure that we were good people and presented ourselves as kind and good to others. Thank you.
Krive is not here, but I think Janoto is.
Yeah, Janoto is here. She needs to unmute herself. And she's trying to figure it out, how to unmute herself. Can someone unmute her, please? I can't see her on here. Janoto?
She's on mute.
Janoto, start talking. Janoto? Oh my. Janoto, you're right there. You're unmuted. Start talking. It says here. Okay, I just spoke to her on the phone and she says she is there and she's speaking and I don't know what's going on. Janoto, hello. Okay, we can move on and then come back to Janoto.
Yeah. Can we have Janoto remove herself and then come back again?
Back in? Yeah.
Yes.
Let me call her.
Perfect. The next person.
Krive is not here.
Richard next. Wonderful.
My name is Juanly Rizal Pacheco. I'm from Puerto Rico, and I live in Rochester, New York. My grandma had us the notice that the hurricane was coming. It came at 9. When I woke up, there was no electricity in whole town. My dad and my mom were sleeping, and my brother and I woke up my father. He said, "We are going to house of my grandma because there are no trees nearby, and it's more safe." I got all my dogs went there. When I got there, my grandma was very nervous, and I scared. I heard her crying. I feel very sad and nervous too. My family's house is in the mountains, so it's not safe. When the hurricanes come, the trees start falling down. Metals was going in the air, and it was so much rain and so much wind. The dogs were frightened and they were so scared. Thank you.
Um, Hello everyone. My name is Claudia. I was born in Rwanda and I speak in Rwanda. I go to Wapen International High School and I'm a junior there. Today I'm going to be sharing a little bit about my story. I remember one day the immigration people came to our place in the refugee camp. I was sleeping at the time. They told me my parents that we were going to move to America. I was so excited. I couldn't even believe it. I thought they were lying because I never believed that I would have a good life, a good education, and live in a good house. I didn't believe it. The people told them that in a few days we will be moving to the United States. I was crying because I felt nervous. I was crying and couldn't stop. They told my parents that we have to do the process and there was a long list. But in a few days we can go to America. They told my parents they were chosen because they don't have any siblings in Rwanda. They told them when we came to America we will find friends and other neighbors and we will make our new life. Uh, so that when we can survive. Uh, Over the next few days, we went to do the interview. We went to see a doctor and he did a check to see if you were healthy. We had to do many processes, but after that, they took us to the airport. Thank you so much for listening.
Stevie, are you there? Stevia? All right, so we'll come back to her in a little bit. Thanks everyone for hanging in there.
Hi, good night. My name is Sebastian. I'm going to talk about the Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico. The life in Puerto Rico was so hard because you need the ice to keep the food cold so that it's being spoiled. It was bad because the factory with the ice was far from where I live. I would have to go there to buy ice in the factory. Here you don't need to bring ice for the food or the water. When I came here, I was excited to be with my uncle. There was a long time that I did not see my uncle and my cousins. To see them here is good and stay with them is good for me because in Puerto Rico I was alone in my house. I am with my mom and we are doing well. It was good to come. Here is especially feels good in the summer. I have been here 5 months. Now I have been visiting different places. I went to Syracuse, to Niagara Falls, to the market, and of course to the school.
I think Janoto is ready. Let's try if we can give her the platform. Janoto? Janoto, go ahead. Maybe her internet is weak because I'm calling her on the phone and she's telling me that she's talking and she's unmuted. Technical difficulties. Yeah, she's unmuted. Okay, Julie, what do you want to do? Should we wait or should we continue?
So is there any other students we haven't gone to yet? Thanks everyone for just going back and forth. It's a difficult time, especially with technology. So thanks again for hanging in.
Julie, Nicole said maybe she can tell you on the phone or tell someone on the phone and then hold the phone up to the mic.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yes.
Janoto, you're talking about? Okay. Let me tell her.
You're on the phone, right?
I'm on the phone with her. Hold on. Let me
Okay.
tell her. Janoto, can you hear me? Okay, never mind. So I'll try this way. Hold on. Let me call her.
She just needs to go to the little arrow next to the microphone, and then she needs to test her speaker and microphone, and then it will, she might not be on the correct microphone.
I think we tried that, but it's not working. So I have her on the phone with me, and I'm already unmuted. Janoto, can you read your paragraph from here? Can you speak to the audience from the phone?
Okay, sure, Miss.
Okay, can you all hear?
Yes, we can hear her.
Yes, we can hear.
Okay, go ahead, Janoto.
Okay. Hi, my name is Janoto. I'm from Burma. People know Burma in the place called Jalpu. People know me here as the Rohingya. For my goal is that I would like to go to college. I want to do something for my father to be proud of me. I'm thinking I'm going to be an art teacher. I like art. When I had depression, I was going to the art class, drawing, and now my depression is gone. I enjoy painting most. I'm still learning from Miss Lipstick. She's the teacher. She said that you should come to the art class. I often go there and learn from her. I paint different things, the portrait and the landscape. The teacher something want us to draw our home country or a landscape from there or here. I hope my father is really proud of me. Thank you all of the teacher and supporting us for telling our story to all of over the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Janoto. I'll call you later.
Okay.
We got it. Very proud of you, Janoto.
Any other students before we head to the next part?
I know that Stevia was one that we skipped over. I don't know if she's here.
We can't get a hold of her. Her teacher's been calling. We think maybe her internet went down.
Oh no. All right, so we'll continue and then we'll find a way to have her come back again. So we're gonna pass it to Taya.
Yes, thank you so much. I just want to say how very impressed I am, with everybody. We've practiced earlier today and they were very frightened and did so well, and we practiced the speed and, just very, very proud. The first time is always the hardest, and, after a few times, before you know it, they will be paid speakers, seriously. That's what we've seen, time and time again. And I just also really want to say that just this experience is just a really good reminder how very difficult the whole distance learning is. It's very, very expensive to have the technology that is needed to do distance learning. Also, it's very hard to have enough space to have a quiet room where you can connect. So, there's just so many challenges in the past months that the students have been through. And in the dedication of the book, we also said that one of the things that is so crucial when an immigrant or a refugee, especially young immigrant refugee, comes to a new country is, integration and learning the language and having that face-to-face time with new friends and teachers and people that care about them, and over time developing a sense of belonging. And it's been just really difficult, obviously, in the past few months, and really kudos to the teachers who, I'm just amazed because we've been communicating with them, over the past few months, and there's no there's really no words for me to even find just how very impressed I am with their dedication. They try everything, you know, the phone, the text, the FaceTime, the Facebook, like every possible mode of communication, just to try and reach the students and get them engaged, and, you know, get them internet and get them tablets. And I mean, when this whole thing started, I mean, we literally, phase one was, you know, a lot of the authors in this book didn't have computers, they didn't have internet, and, you know, we had first to wait for that and secure that. So yeah, I want to say that, you know, I really still can't believe we pulled it off, and really just such a commitment from everybody that we were like, you know what, we're gonna persevere, we're gonna pull through, and we did. So the ebook is already available for purchase, and we really hope that you will do so tonight. For today only, we are offering additional 25% off on all the purchases if you use the code that is listed on the bottom of the slide, NY Launch 2020. And we are right now just in the final phases of sending the book to the printer. We hope to have it ready for you to, again, purchase, and we'll also distribute it to a lot of people that pre-ordered it already, starting late January. So really, really excited. We do believe that it's going to be a great resource for the local community, libraries, students, educators, you know, everybody that really wants to understand first-person voice. And that's what we're all about. We really believe that the narrative needs to change, and it's the immigrants and students who should be telling the stories, and not have other people tell stories about them. So we really want to shift the narrative and empower the storytellers to use their own voice. And it's really important to pause and take time to listen. They have so much to teach us. And every book launch we do, we sort of highlight a couple of, one organization, one individual whose contribution have been always so tremendously over the board, just so, you know, incredible, really, that we would not be able to do this project without them. But I should also say that over 120 volunteers participated in this project, and they do so every time. But the first person, and it's really an institution that I want to highlight, and I hope Professor Donna Gitter is here with us. Is she? Donna?
I think Donna left to go to the Facebook Live.
Okay, so if we can go to the next slide, Richard, and I'm just gonna say a few words. So I received many emails, you know, from around the country. But people read our books, and a lot of the people are like, I want also, you know, be involved in a book, and so forth. And Donna was one of those professors who said, you know what, I am incredibly honored to teach an honors program in undergrad of this incredible future leaders. And my entire class is immigrants and refugees, mostly first generation, sometimes second generation. And she says, you know, I know they're gonna be future leaders. They're just so dedicated and so bright, and they're the future of this country. And she said, what, you know, I don't wanna teach them things from the books. It's just not the real thing, but I want to have them have the experience of hearing authentic voices and help you with the project. So for every book, we partner with the university, and the students go through hours and hours of the recordings, and they literally transcribe word for word everything they've heard. And you might think that that's easy, but there's machines that help you do that, but we're dealing with 16 different accents. So it's whatever the machines do, it's not helpful at all. Someone has to go in and really type word for word everything, and they did a tremendous job, but it's you know, hours and hours of recording, and that really served as a basis for the book, because I don't know if you know, but we always use the oral mode first. So immigrants and refugees whose English is not first language, they're much better in a written, in an oral mode. So it would be very hard for them to, you know, say, for us to tell them, oh, you know, just write your story. It would be very hard because they have to think about the alphabet, which is sometimes different, sentence structure, grammar, spelling. But speaking their story is easier. So they you know, tell their story, and then we transcribe it, and we use the transcripts as a basis for the book. So Professor Gitter, thank you so much. And to all of your Macaulay Honors Program students, we're deeply grateful. And we're gonna be sending the award in the mail to you. And secondly, we every time give an outstanding individual award to, if we can go to the next slide, to one person, which is always really hard to pick just one person. But I really have to say that this time it was a very obvious pick, and it's Jennifer Pony, because, wow, Jennifer has been just tremendous from start to finish, and I cannot tell you, we met almost 2 years ago now at the National TESOL Conference in Atlanta, Georgia, and was like an instant connection. And she's so on top of things that literally, you know, while still at the conference, she was like, let's have a meeting, let's have a plan. How are we gonna get the money? What's the timeline? We need this, like yesterday, but you know, so every hurdle that came our way, everything that we've said, you know, we need to go to the next step, she found a solution. When we said, you know, we want to include Buffalo, she's like, I'm on it. When we said we need funding, I'm on it. So when, you know, 2 schools in the middle of all this closed down, she said, you know what, we'll find those students. You know, we'll find a way. Like, we are friends with some of them on Facebook, and then we'll ask them where, you know, their friends are. This really has been a huge labor of love, and for many of people involved, and I really cannot thank Jennifer Pony enough. And if you want to say a few words, we would love to hear from you, but thank you from the bottom of our heart. This would not be possible without you, and so many others, but especially you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm getting all choked up. Working on this book has really been the honor of my career. And this has really been, you know, the definition of a team effort. We would not have been able to do this without all of the people we partnered with, including Taya and her staff, and some past authors that serve as mentors for our kids. Our forward writer, Iman Musana, who's a previous RCSD student and an L herself, and some really great partnering with higher ed institutions, including some of my students in the TESOL Master's Program at SUNY Brockport, Baruch College, like we mentioned before, and Kennesaw State University. We absolutely could not have done this without the 5 teachers that we worked so closely with: Kristen Halligan, Jill Harris, Kelly Cooper, Asma Syed, and Michelle Reese. They were on the ground. They've been, you know, rallying and phone calling and doing home visits. My partner in crime, Mike Duffy of West Auburn, really spearheaded the Buffalo effort. We couldn't have done this without him either. And lastly, and most importantly, I would just like to express my heartfelt gratitude for these student authors whose willingness to be open and vulnerable and share their stories in a language that they're still learning is a true gift. Your words are a gift for our community, and I'm so proud of you. We are all so proud of you, and you're really the reason that we do this work. So thank you guys. We love you. You did an amazing job.
So yes, and with those beautiful, wonderful words, we have just one slide left, and that is a sincere gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you in many different languages, including Hvala, which is my language. Thank you for your time tonight. We'll be in touch. I look forward to many events in the future, like an in-person book reading and many book readings to come. This is just the beginning. Thank you and have a good night.
Thank you so much, everyone. Feel free to unmute yourself and really just like a big celebration for all of you, your country.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Good job, students.
Bye. Have a good night.
Hello. Have a nice weekend.
Bye-bye.
Loved it.
Very good. Oh.
Bye.
Thank you for joining.
Okay.
Oh, hi.
Thank you for joining, everyone. I am very.
Bye, guys.
Abdul, you're at work.
What's wrong with
Bye,
Abdul?
everyone.
Abdul, are you at work?
Did Miss Hoover join us?
Yes.
Yeah, where did she go now?
She left.
She left. That's very good.
She was here.
I
and
miss you
saw
guys.
Hey. This one? Tanan. Oh.
Okay, good night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye. Have a good night.
I'm sorry. Hi, Sorah.
Hello, Miss Halligan.
Hello, Abdul.
Yeah. Hi, Mr. Russell. You remember me?
I remember
I'm so proud of you guys.
Yeah, we are so proud of us. I mean, you.
Oh,
She's not Miss Russell anymore, Abdul.
I
That's
know.
true. I got married.
I
oh.
know. He's gonna ask you.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Okay.